Welcome back to the crossover with Marlon Jones and Armon Williams.
All right, welcome back to the crossover with Marlon and Armon, KDUS 1060. Subscribe and follow us on our social media accounts on both YouTube and Facebook at the crossover 1060. That's at the crossover 1060. Facebook.com at the crossover 1060. YouTube.com at the crossover 1060. All right, we're going to go ahead and put a bow on this thing. It's another good show. Marlon, go ahead.
I know. I like that music that brought us back into.
Yeah?
That was a jam.
That was your jam?
I know it was a jam. I got to figure out what that was.
Yeah, you go ahead and we'll hook
every hero needs a theme song.
Sure, you can go ahead and get you you put that on your MP3 player or whatever.
MP3.
Get you the MP3 file.
Napster.
What's any shout outs that you want to give?
Yeah, let's give one shout out to a friend of all of ours. I don't know if he's listening or he's probably on a golf course, but it's his birthday.
Yes.
Big Frank.
Big Frank, yes,
Sturpe,
absolutely.
You know, you got to give him a shout out on his 40th. And,
turning the big 4-0, man.
Yeah, and we're going to act a fool. We got a pub crawl scheduled for tonight. As a matter of fact,
y'all gonna get crazy.
Let's let Dr. Jones.
Yeah, Dr. Jones.
No relation to me. Talk about the.
Yes, pub crawl, sponsored by the way, Vitalis Medical and Healthy
There
Living.
you go, exactly.
Since I am a doctor
Get
of
that
nursing
plug out
practice,
there.
Get it.
family nurse practitioner. So we're going to do a pub crawl tonight for Frank's 40th birthday. And we're going to start at one of our favorite places on the green. That's where we were last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the whole thing, washed my hair this morning. Took me like 2 hours. I told Marlon, I said, when a woman tells you that she's washing her hair and she can't do something, she's not lying, because I would rather be doing anything else.
But
2 hours?
2 hours, man.
Washing,
Wow.
drying.
I could clean my house in 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a process.
That's a
Apparently
movie. That's a movie.
It's a process Joel Embiid don't want to touch.
Yeah, so shout out to Big Frank. Happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna bring it in with wild times tonight. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
Obviously, you got the USC Notre Dame game that Big G is at. We don't know if he's going to make it to the stadium or not.
We don't know. What's the over under that he'll actually make it to the game? We should ask Tracy that while he was here.
Yeah, that probably under 100 to 1.
And like he said, USC has not covered the spread at all.
Mm-hmm.
I can speak on that personally because they funded my last 3 Sizzler trips.
Yeah,
betting that they were not going to cover the spread. So I might have to do it again today. I got to see what it is. And but he said bet the money line. I kind of like that too. Notre Dame money line. I might have to take that action as well.
That's crazy that a team with that kind of talent can't. That they don't have a productive defense. They don't have a solid defense.
No, it's horrible defense.
It's like an absolute sieve.
They're like elite. Offensively, they're the best team in the country.
Right.
You know, Caleb is just, he's out of this world. Caleb Williams, quarterback. He deserves every accolade that he gets. But on the defensive side, it's like a Sun Belt Conference team.
Yeah.
It's
like the old WAC schools.
Yeah, it's like watching the Toledo Rockets on defense.
In the days you had like UTEP versus like BYU or something like that.
Yeah. old
Where it's
days.
like 55 to like 48 or something like that type of score.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty much been the scores. A lot of those games have been like in the 40s.
Well, they've got to outscore their opponents because they can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
They can't.
I mean, Arizona almost beat them a couple weeks ago with like the backup quarterback with Noah Fafita.
Yeah, and ASU gave them a headache for a little bit too.
They did through 3 quarters, probably up into the 4th quarter.
Yep.
And then they finally started to kind of collapse and fall back. But yeah, for a second there, I'm like, is Arizona State gonna beat this team? USC
only beat ASU by 14. They were 30.5-point favorites.
Right.
Man, I got the salad bar with
and there was something like that against Arizona, and
Arizona they were 20. They were 20 and a half.
Right.
I got the dessert and the salad bar at Sizzler that night after winning that loop.
Here's a highlight. I'll give you guys an interesting update right now. Alabama is facing off against Arkansas. It's about 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes 24 seconds in the 4th quarter. Right now, Alabama's up on Arkansas 24-21.
Oh wow!
In Alabama.
Yeah.
So this might come down to maybe like last possession or so. It could be an interesting turn up because pretty much I'm looking at the scores from the other games. Pretty much they're holding serve. All the favorites are winning convincingly. Michigan's beating up on Indiana, and I'm taking a look at Georgia. They're up handily on Vanderbilt.
I know everybody has Georgia as the best team in the country, but I think it's Michigan.
You think Michigan?
I think Michigan is the best team in the country, to be quite honest.
It just depends on how they match up against those teams head to head. But I do like Michigan. You think Michigan's going to beat Ohio State and come out of the Big Ten?
Yep.
How about this?
I think they murder Ohio State.
Okay. How about this? It's a competitive game when they face off against each other. Do both of those teams wind up in the Final Four? If like, say, Ohio State loses to them, but it goes into overtime and Michigan winds up pulling it
probably,
out, or
probably.
vice
Well,
versa?
that depends on if SC or Oregon doesn't run the table.
Right.
Like if they have one loss, then
it's a Pac-12 conference.
You know how they do
how they do the
treat.
Pac-12 conference. Yeah.
But if SC or Oregon is undefeated, they're going. If Michigan's going, you figure Georgia's going.
Right.
Notre Dame's having a down year, so they, normally they're the wild card. If they're undefeated, they've
already lost.
Yeah, I know they've already lost, so there's a chance they'll lose again today. So
right.
But yeah, so right now it's looking like that they may beat SC, Oregon and Washington. So I don't know. It depends on how the Pac-12 does. All we do is beat each other up. So
right.
But that's a good question though about that's how they treat the SEC as well.
And, yeah, exactly. They show heavy preference towards the SEC.
But it's been kind of a down year for the SEC.
It has been a down year for the SEC.
With the exception
really
of Georgia.
only really one dominant program, which is Georgia. That's why I'm thinking if there's a year that you might get two Big Ten schools, or maybe possibly another conference, maybe Pac-12. I don't know, because you have that. Yeah.
Well, they got 7 in the top 20, so and everybody's been giving the Pac-12 a lot of respect this year. So you never know. Maybe they will take a one-loss Pac-12 team this year.
What sucks about this thing, about the whole thing with the Pac-12 going to pretty much dissolve and maybe go out of existence, is the fact that next season we wouldn't have that problem next season, the Pac-12 conference, because they're going to go ahead and expand it to a 12-team playoff system.
Exactly, yeah.
So you would, had the Pac-12 been in existence beyond this season, you would definitely have at least one team from the Pac-12 represent. And that probably, I still think that was kind of a factor why they decided to go ahead, and all these teams decided to go ahead and bounce beyond the television deal being absolute abysmal. Larry Scott set up. And
it makes me sad, but then I think about the 30-some-odd mil that our schools get to pocket,
right?
First of all, and then I think about the basketball matchups. That's really got me really excited as next year's basketball in the Big 12. I cannot wait. And you know what? It's that best time of the year. Speaking of basketball, we're in preseason right now. We're in October.
Right.
Midnight Madness will be starting here pretty soon, and it is literally the best time of the year, Dr. Joe. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
Who are your who's got the best March Madness? Oh, that's both of you. You mentioned Kansas and Lawrence.
I don't know. Actually, you know what? Since Amanda's here, I've seen videos of Grand Canyon's March Madness. And it's pretty freaking cool.
They're Midnight Madness? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
It's awesome.
Tell us about
I got
it.
to
What is
go
it like?
last year, actually. I was
What was it
invited
like?
to go, which I don't know how I got that invitation. And I was up till, it's at midnight, of course.
Right.
So I didn't go home until really, I was like, this is why. This is why the college kids go to this. It is awesome. I mean, they put on a real concert, like show, entertainment. I mean, everybody comes out there, the dance teams, the band.
Wasn't there a dude that came out on a motorcycle one year? Or
there was like a Batmobile one year, I think.
Batmobile?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Serious?
Last year it was Rockstar themed, and the coaches were involved. It was just so much fun. And of course it was packed, lights, all the students were going crazy. And I think they camp out and stuff in order to be able to get in there for that. So
wow.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm telling you, GCU is shooting up my charts as one of my favorite. Yeah, they really are, and I think their future is really bright too because they're really putting together really good basketball. We saw firsthand, just the way they run their practices.
Right.
I mean, that was efficient. It was professional.
Absolutely.
It was really impressive. That and watching the way that they work, and then seeing the size of these kids. Grand Canyon's got a legit.
They're Division I quality.
Yes.
Caliber talent, man, that they got. Yeah, they're building something special down there at GCU. They absolutely are. And I was a fan of GCU even before we had an opportunity to go ahead and watch one of their practices, a scrimmage, or whatever they call it, not to hang out with Coach Bryce Drew and Thank you again, Dr.
Yeah.
Man Jones. No relation to Marlon for that. But yeah, I was already on board with him, but I'm absolutely 1,000% on board with them after like seeing how they.
And it's funny when you look at Coach Drew, he doesn't look like what you think a college basketball coach would look like. You know, he had all these little sweats that look floppy.
Right.
The 5 o'clock shadow.
Very cash.
Yeah, hair's kind of disheveled.
Yeah.
He looks like he's about to teach astronomy or something.
Right.
But he had that practice on point.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this music.
I'm cool with it. I like it. All right, Marlon Jones, Dr. Amanda Jones, myself, my name is Armon. We appreciate you guys.
Is that your name?
Yeah.
You don't think they know your name by now?
I hope so. Jesus. That's a wrap on our show. I want to thank you guys for listening to the crossover with Marlon and Armon. We will see you guys next week. Make sure you follow us on our YouTube and Facebook pages at the crossover 1060. Once again, that's at the crossover 1060. Folks, they're kicking us out the door. We got to go.
Got to bounce.